Hi, it's Michael. Both scientists and highly evolved spiritual people tell us that life is evolutionary, and just by pure observation, it is self-evident. So the undercurrent of um, existence is evolving from the lowest to the highest, and this applies to a human life as well. And so, again, just by pure observation, if you consider uh, a happy, positive person that takes care of their health, then the person has certain radiance, has more joy in their life, and you can tell that the person is going higher and higher, is spiritually evolving. Now, on the other hand, if you take a person that is negative, violent, abusive towards themselves and others, doesn't take care of their health, then you can see the person is kind of doesn't look very good. People don't want to be around that person, so the person is spiritually devolving. So with spiritual evolution for everything, including human life, established, let's consider this. This path, this path you can see here, symbolizes the evolutionary path of your life. And all the trees and everything that's here symbolize all the events and things in your life. And so the idea is, for the healthiest, the most free, the most joyful life is to walk down the path as freely as possible, without restrictions or without things that bog down your walk. Now, if one of the major things that affects our freedom of walking our spiritual path is or are attachments, clinging to things, emotional attachments. And you can imagine that every attachment is like an anchor, like literally having an anchor thrown out that's tied to your waist, and that holds you down, holds you back from progressing. Now, these attachments there can be tens of them, hundreds of them, thousands of them. So again, the idea for a healthy, evolving life is to walk down the path without clinging to things. So we can enjoy these things, we can appreciate them, be grateful for them, and when they come to our life, to our awareness, we can, if they are huggable, we can hug them, and then we continue on. When they depart our life, as surely they will in this world, everything in this world, of this world, is temporary. That's obvious. Everything, people, pets, physical things, nature, including emotions, beliefs, concepts, principles, everything is of this world is temporary, transitory. So clinging to it, throwing out anchors, is counterproductive, obviously. So, as an example, consider that you got a beautiful diamond ring worth of thousands of dollars, and you lost it or misplaced it. Anyway, you lost it. It's out of your awareness, out of your life. Now, what is your reaction to it? Do you symbolically beat your chest? Do you tear your hair? Do you go through emotional dramas, constantly thinking about what's with it, who took it, and if somebody took it, how you would punish the person, and you cannot sleep because of that, you worry about that? That is all attachments, all clinging to it. So again, if this would symbolize that precious diamond ring, it comes to your life, you enjoy it. It departs your life, even though it may seem like a not very pleasant departure. It's lost or somebody steals it. Then you let go of it and you move on. You don't look back, because if you look back, then sooner or later you're going to hit another tree, run into something, and that's it. That's the end of it. It was in your life, it's gone out of your life. Both are fine, as Dr. David Hawkins says. That's very important, not clinging to things, including people. Now, this may be one of the most challenging things if you have a child or a spouse or somebody you love and that person passes away. Then again, letting go of that person emotionally, giving the thing or the person the freedom to move on. So it went out of your life, then allow it to be out of your life and don't cling to it. That doesn't mean that you completely forget about that person, or that you're indifferent to that person who just passed away. It just means you don't cling to that person, and that gives freedom to you, and that gives freedom to that person who just departed. As it was revealed by true psychic mediums and through neuro-emotional technique and so on, the souls of the departed ones on the other side appreciate us here in this world enjoying our life in freedom, free of attachments, free of emotional dramas like grieving and all that. So it's okay to cry, that is perfectly fine, just not clinging to it. If crying comes, fine, let it be. Just don't stoke the fire of emotions, and that's the recommendation. And move on with your life, and that will help you, and that will help the departed ones. The same with pets, the same with everything else, with cars, whatever it may be. Now, perhaps to help, again, with looking at it from a slightly different angle or with a different symbology. So, if you would consider this as a butterfly, or if you want to observe or enjoy beautiful butterfly, and the butterfly lands in your open hand, well, if you try to cling to the butterfly, you're going to damage it, right? Or maybe even kill it. So how do you enjoy the butterfly? Well, you leave your hands open and you just look at it, and it may fly away. Well, it will fly away, and it will get out out of your vision, out of your life. Now, do you cry about it? Do you have emotional fits? No, you were fine before the butterfly came. You enjoyed it very much when it was sitting in your open hands, and then it was fine when it flew away, and you enjoyed that part as well. And this goes for everything, not just butterflies, obviously, as an example. So it is recommended to be very aware of what's going on inside of you, and just to observe it with detachment, no judgments, just impartial detachment. And when you see some clinging, some attachments arising within you, like, oh, this is mine, I cannot let go of it, I have to be with it, I cannot be without it, what would I do without it? And it completes me. My life without this would be nothing, it would be empty. So when you see stuff like this arising within you, then it is recommended to surrender it to God, the Spirit, the divine love, whatever you prefer to call it, to the self, to the true self, and let go of it as much as you can, and allow the divine to take care of it. An extremely important tool in helping detect attachments, because many of them occur in the subconscious, so you may not even be aware of them consciously, and also removing those attachments, dissolving those attachments, is neuro-emotional technique. NET, neuro-emotional technique. It cannot be overstated how powerful it can be if you're willing to use it, to undertake it, and stick with it for a little while. It can cut all those anchors and set you free, of course, along with other spiritual work. And also not to underestimate chiropractic care, because chiropractic care helps the nervous system to flow better. So NET helps clear neuro-emotional blocks, spiritual blocks, helps to detect them and to clear them, even the ones in subconscious. And a chiropractic then helps fine-tune the nervous system, the body, to be in better flow. Not to underestimate these two. They are together, they are synergistic. And another thing is, clinging attachments can be also to the future, projections, projected to the future, worry, planning. Well, some planning is sometimes necessary, but when the planning is too much, it's like constant spinning in the head, then again, that smells of emotional attachment. So attachments don't need to be from the past, clinging to the past. They can be also clinging to the future, to the projected future. And as enlightened people say, if you live in the current moment, in the very current moment, spontaneously, then automatically there cannot be attachments in the now. when we accumulate these narrow emotional attachments, these narrow emotional blocks, not only in this life but through our past lives, then they are in us, so to speak, as anchors, as attachments in a way, as records, and they need to be cleared. So narrow emotional technique is a fantastic way of helping to detect them and to clear them. So that is it for this talk. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below the video. And Michael out.